Hello guys, and welcome to another day on my channel. I know I got a Mercedes shirt on, but I'm in a BMW 2010 535i and my car does not want to start. In this video I'm gonna show you kind of like what kind of codes I have and then kind of like what not to do, because I just checked all my fuses and now my car does not do any kind of reaction, like just nothing is happening right now. So yeah, but I will also show you how to put this car into neutral, the manual way. If it will not engage into neutral, it's pretty easy. But anyways, I'll show you also a little bit more about this problem. I'm gonna do a little bit of light reading when I diagnose this type of car. Hopefully this could help you. Once I find out what this issue is, I will make an updated video and post it on this channel. I do think this is just the starter malfunctioning, just getting stuck. It could be corroded cables, bad ground, you know, things like that. I did think since the code was constantly getting triggered, there was a possibility of a bad fuse. When I checked all the fuses, every single one of them was good, but now my iDrive will not light up and my dash will not light up. So guys, my car has random so anyways guys, I own a BMW 2010 535i and it randomly does not want to start. So if I put the key in, put brake, hit this, as you could see, no start. I don't know why it's showing me a flat tire, unless my tire is leaking. But anyways, that's what it is. So I do have this unit, which is Carly, that I have plugged in over here in my BMW. I'm gonna show you in a minute what all those codes are. There's a lot of codes on this car, but it drives really well. I'll just show you the walk-around. I just got this car, so it's already having some issues. And obviously I'm in a Walmart parking lot. I came here. It does not want to leave. I will figure out what this problem is. I will fix it. And I will tell you guys what this is. So let's connect to Carly and see what the problem is. Alright guys, I'm here in my Carly unit. I'm just going to go ahead and hit connect. It says you are connected. So I'm going to go to the dashboard, and then I see that we have 7 issues. Of course, it had way more issues than that. And let's check the health of this car. So we're going to hit continue, check for issues. Well, that's interesting. No ECU found, but that unit is plugged in. So I'm just going to have to connect the car first. It seemed like it was connected. So we're going to look at the health. Check for issues. Yesterday I cleared about 27 codes and then the car started right up. But I'm also not sure, maybe by the time it took me to clear the codes, the car has had the chance to cool down and then it just started. I'm not sure. But it's been randomly not starting. Sometimes it starts and others it just doesn't do anything. And this is a brand new battery. This is an 850 AGM battery. So here's codes again. These things came up right away. Obviously it says very bad car access system. So this is the code that's showing up. It's OOAOB4. Smart Mechanic available. So description, error engine starter operation A0B4. Issues category, engine electrical system, more detailed in Smart Mechanic, related issues, 6 more detailed in Smart Mechanic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter Smart Mechanic, and we're going to take a look at what these issues are. Okay, here it is. It was not loading correctly for some reason. So this is the fault code and everything about the code. So it is engine start, engine operation, A0B4. Repair assessment. Our expert mechanic have estimated repair cost and the difficulty level to repair this issue yourself. Difficulty level, 2 wrenches. Repair cost, $2 signs. Hobby repair tools needed. You will be able to repair this issue with common car repair tools. Smart Mechanic Expert Guide. Carless expert mechanics have developed the following guide for your fault code 00A0B4. With this guide, it is often possible to identify and better repair the faulty part system. So I'm just going to skip the code, engine start operation, task/function starter. The starter is responsible for starting the engine. Basically, the starter is the large electric motor which engages the engine's flywheel with the gear wheel and thus sets the engine in rotary motion. In the same moment, the engine control unit sends signal to the actuators, ignition coils, injectors, etc., so that the engine can start. Symptoms of this error. Error stored in error memory. Engine start no longer possible. Elimination of warning lamp and instrument cluster. Possible error causes. Cable connection of the starter motor defective. Fuse of starter motor defective. Starter itself defective. Check the causes of this error. The first thing to do is to check the starter motor's cable connections for visual damage. Normally, there are 2 cables connected to the starter motor, a thick one and one normal one. The connections of the starter should be checked for oxidation. Next, the fuse of the starter should be checked. It is very likely that the fuse is defective. In case it is defective, it is likely that the starter motor is faulty. This draws too much current and does damage the fuse. In most cases, the starter motor is defective. Inside the starter are installed so-called carbons which wear out over time. Thus, an electric motor can no longer work properly. It can also happen that the starter motor is stuck and can no longer turn. Basically, it is possible to disassemble and repair the starter. Most of the time, however, repairing it is not profitable because it is hardly more expensive to replace the starter with brand new parts. In many BMW engines, especially diesel engines, the intake manifold must be removed to replace the starter. Here, it is absolutely recommended to use new gaskets when reassembling. Smart Mechanic Expert Guide Related Faults. Carless expert mechanics have identified the following related fault codes. With the attached expert guide for the fault codes, it is often possible to identify and better repair the faulty part system. And these are the codes. Code 1, 00A0B3, Code 2, 801C15, Code 3, D35B3F, Code 4, 004203, Code 5, 004212, Code 6, 004222. Number 1, 00A0B3, cast error controls starter motor clamp 50. How the starter process works. The starter has the task of turning the engine's crankshaft from standstill. This brings the crankshaft exactly up to the speed that is recommended to start the engine. For this purpose, the starter target speed is precisely matched to the engine's respective vehicle type. Pressing the start-stop button starts the engine. Now the control unit starts the voltage to be conducted through the starter relay while clamp 50L. Some other models and years may have start-stop function controls in other unit than car access system CAS. Some models may control the function via the front electric module, FEM, the body main control, BDC. The starter relay then triggers the engagement of the starter pinion. The starter then turns the engine and crankshaft at starting speed. For this purpose, the starter is supplied with voltage via clamp 30. After the engine was started, a flywheel on the starter pinion prevents it from now being driven by the flywheel. Possible symptoms, possible error symptoms. Error is stored in the error memory. Vehicle starts sporadically or does not no longer start. Possible error causes. Fault results from consequential fault in the vehicle electrical system. Ground cable motor defective oxidized. Cable connection at starter motor defective slash oxidized. Starter motor defective. Check the causes of the error. First of all, check where there are any other errors in the error memory in the connection with CAS system, or, if applicable, the FAM/BDC module. If this is the case, these errors must be corrected first. It is quite possible that there is no defect at all, and that the errors is subsequent error. It is often happens with the errors that the ground cable from the engine to the body is defective, oxidized. Unfortunately, a defect here is very difficult to detect by optical inspection. Here is recommended to remove the cable. Then the inside of the cable should be inspected and checked for signs of oxidation. If there is oxidation, we recommend replacing the cables completely, which is possible with very little effort. Next, check that all cables on the starter are intact and also tight. Also check here for marks of oxidation. If all errors are excluded, it can also happen that the starter motor is defective. In most cases, the starter motor is easy to reach and thus simple to replace. Here, we recommend using a reputable brand starter. In our experience, other brand starters which do not come directly from the manufacturer also work very well. Description error code. The fault memory entry KL30 clamp 30 means that the function box fuse carrier integrated unit no longer supplies relay voltage. This disconnects the control unit from the vehicle electrical system. This safety module is activated in the event of a heavy discharge battery. Make sure the vehicle can be started. And my vehicle still does not want to start. But anyways, I think this kind of explains other type of factors. There's definitely a lot to go over. So it really goes over all of these other codes that was listed. So I just went over the code that we actually do have. And then we have the electrical system main group. So we have information about this category. The 00A0B4 fault is assigned to the engine electrical system fault category, main group 12 in the BMW spare parts catalog. To make it easier for you to find potential spare parts, Carly uses some categories as BMW. The system category engine electrical system includes special direct and indirect electrical or electronic components of powertrain as well as auxiliary units and controls. Simply put, special electrical components for starting, controlling, and operating the powertrain. At BMW, it also includes special electronics for attached parts of the powertrain in detail. It goes from starter to the motor wiring harness to ignition coil. General electrical or electronic components are often grouped together in the system category engine. Main group 11 in the BMW part catalog, electrical solenoid valve and the crankshaft camshaft sensor are good examples for the category 11. So here's some of the definitions, spare parts. I'm just gonna go over that. You guys could just pause it and maybe like read it yourself. That way I don't bore you guys too much. And then we have intelligence option, which I don't know what this does. I mean, last time I used it, it did not do anything. Yeah, just like this time, since we are currently not aware of any particular subsequent faults for this issue. And we have more errors information right here. So we could click on this, and this would take us to the web. So here's DMRFest, where people talk about this problem. Hello, my car does not start upon pressing the start button. If I put the key in and wait a minute before pressing the start button, it starts up. Well, let's see if this works for us. So I'm just gonna open up the door, put the key in. Let's wait exactly a minute. While we're waiting, let's read some more of these stuff. So here's the response. Well, do you have power at the starter when it's asked to start? Hear click. I don't hear any clicks. That was the last stop for me, my old 335i. In good old days when men were men and Welsh sheep were very nervous, my Mini 1000 put me through this crap. From memory, there was a dog that used to stick on the flywheel. Dog. A tap with a hammer or rocking the car while it's in gear should usually shift it. Also, change the solenoid, but one could easily reach in Mini to check if power was going to the starter. After I clicked doggy. Ernie was also affected, and the starter motor was dead. Easy to change to. Interesting way to put his information. No click can be heard upon pushing the start button, and the noise is like if the car is struggling to start a few seconds later. It just dies. No noise at all. So I'm gonna actually try to start it at this point. Nothing. I'm not getting anything. So obviously this just goes on and on and on. I'm gonna get back to Carly and let's see if we could just go ahead and clear this code. I'm just gonna go ahead and just clear every single code that this car has. See, clearing this. I don't know why this light code comes up. My light's working fine. And it comes up for the fog light. A lot of times when you're trying to clear them, you have to kind of like go through this whole system. You could search for more information when you click on a code, and only then you could click it so that it erases the code. But I've already taken many screenshots, and now I'm taking this little video for you guys. So for now everything's good. Let's just see. Again, I'm just gonna check for issues again in case anything come back. Yeah, car exit system. Like it seems like this code just keeps being present. I mean, this thing is like really solid on there. So I'm gonna check for issues again. Apparently, it probably knows that start is locked up, and I'm not even starting it right now. But it knows that it's stuck, I guess. Maybe this time the fuse is blown. Yeah, still here. I mean, I haven't even tried starting it, so yet the code is still present. So maybe there is a fuse that is blown this time. I mean, in a way, it's a good thing that I'm at the Walmart parking lot. It's something I could just buy another fuse. It's weird that it doesn't even shift out of neutral. It's just still in park. Does not go to drive. It just stays in park. Anyways, guys, I even have worse news right now. So we have the fuses located in there. With the key out, just having it sitting over here, I attempted to remove the fuses and check them one by one. I did not find any broken ones. End result of this situation is this. You put the key in. Now, nothing's happening on my dash. Nothing's happening here with iDrive system. And then randomly, this did start to work again. And now no longer does. So you would think that maybe that battery. So it does lock, does unlock. So as you can see, my lights are on. Just locked it and unlock it. So all that is coming on. Of course, I got the hood popped for now. I was gonna try to see if I needed to do anything else. Check for the starter possibly. I think the starter is locked up, but apparently when I'm messing with the fuses, somehow the car is still on and it's picking it up, you know, so maybe it disaffected something. Because now I don't got nothing. But anyways, if you're stuck in this type of situation similar to mine, Obviously this will not move out of neutral. What you could do is you could reach in here like this. You pull this out. Looks like you would need to use a screwdriver here to unspin this, and then lift this little compartment. Just let's see if I could twist it. Yeah. So a screwdriver goes into this hole right there, and then you're supposed to move this all the way back, and this will actually put it into neutral in case you ever needed to do that. So I may end up having to use that ability now just so I could bring this car home if I need towing. To reinstall this, you would just put this right over like this, and then you just simply snap it in. It just goes in like that easily, and it comes out easily. So this is actually the way, you know, to service that. And then you could just, once you unlock it, you could just pull that open. There's an area for the screwdriver. So the provided screwdriver that came with your car would actually work in this area. So you have to shift it all the way, put it all the way down, and then shift it all the way till it can't go no more. That puts it into neutral. Hey, my display is back. Everything is back. My gosh, I actually messed up, and I put that number 30 in that slot in between the 40s. It looks like that's where it goes. I don't know how I made that mistake, but apparently it caused a headache. But anyways, it is still not starting. So what I'm gonna attempt to do at this point is do a hard reset. Before attempting to do a hard reset, I'm gonna tell you this. It's like almost I had the feeling, before I even got a chance to drive this car around, I bought this mechanic set. This is a Pittsburgh from Harbor Tool and Freight. It's a pretty affordable type of set that comes with a lot of different stuff that you may end up needing. BMW normally has a set that comes here, so you could just undo this right here, and then some stuff will be located. So it's a good thing I have a tow hook, and I do have the original screwdriver. It's just it's where the tire spare underneath, and yeah. So I do have some gloves. I do have a power supply if I need it, a way for me to jump it, and I have a brand new tire inflator. Not sure how well this works, and that's just a level. I mean a laser measurement thing. So I'll have to pull this. So this one does not have anything that holds it. You see, like all this stuff is missing. They were missing to begin with. Last time this was easier, but of course I used two hands. I did pull this out. The reason I did not want to pull out, I was just getting stuck on this. It's a good idea to lift this before you lift it up, and me just having one hand, I thought I could just do it without it. Turns out not so much. But to do a hard reset, what you got to do is you got to pull this negative terminal off, and you got to pull this positive off, and you will need to put them together. So basically, without having the battery touching, you need to take the negative and the positive, just put them together, and this will do a reset. So it does take 10 millimeter. So basically, just spin that thing. Do not try to remove this. I mean, it's gonna be pointless. And then you just need to reach them close enough for them to touch, negative and the positive. And this will clear all the codes. To hold it about 15 minutes or so. Make it easier on me, I just got them touching like this. And while that's happening, I'm gonna go through some of these fuses. I want to see if I see anything here that's not supposed to be. Check some of these fuses, not all. I tried to mainly check the 30s, the 40s, some of the 20s, and nothing seems to be blown at this moment. So I'll just keep this like that for a minute. I just reconnected the battery cables. See what happens. Let's stick my key into the ignition. So these things come on. Try to do that Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All I'm getting is service overdue. So it's trying to tell me I need brake pads. So still nothing is shifting. This is kind of like the weirdest thing, that it's like you have this malfunction, right? And you can't shift it into neutral. Actually, it's weird that it does not want to shift even to sports mode if the key is inserted. See? Will not insert, but it will go back and forth. It's kind of interesting that it just doesn't want to start, and sometimes it starts. This is the longest it's been since it hasn't started. And it's a little bit hot right now. I'm sweating in my face. I got every single window down in the car. Got my hood up. And I was gonna try to see if I could tap the starter or jump the starter with like a screwdriver or something, which I've done that before, and that would kick things into gear. Not on this car, but on some other cars. But there is really no easy access to this thing. There's just not enough room because the starter sits so far back. Guys, I want to show you the starter location. It's going to be a little bit hard to see, but the starter is exactly over there. If you see that little shiny thing, that's the starter location. It actually kind of looks like, I don't know, it looks like a new starter. I'm not sure. But to remove this, it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is just get that thing loose. Remove this by pressing these two tabs together and pulling it. And then you have to unhook this, and then that right there, and the rest of it sort of just pulls out. You know, it's got these rubber grommets that go into these points, so you just have to kind of like pull it up. And then you have to also remove these rubber things. They're attached over here, like 1, 2, 3, easy to remove. They just pop up, and then that's it. And so I just placed my air intake over here. I don't even know what kind I have. Looks like I have a dirty old intake. But anyways, the idea is for me to reach in there with like some kind of tool and see if I could jump the starter. Something with rubber handles would work, preferably something longer. This is a short tool, but I'm gonna try anyways. Because the idea is kind of to shorten that connection to touch it, but really not exactly. Probably need to feel around for the starter, like make sure I could get us to the solenoid. Solenoid is right there next to the red cable. I was putting it a little bit too low. It's really hard to shorten this thing. That I was not successful at touching the starter. Yet the car started right up with all this intake removed and everything. So I'm just gonna connect everything back. Just go from there. Consider myself lucky. So anyways, everything is back. I just installed everything the way it is. I do want to show you guys something. You see this little thing? If you need one, if your hood is falling down on you and you need a buddy to hold it for you, this is a lot better. This will not damage anything. You just simply twist this over here and twist it in our place, and then it releases. And then I could just shut my hood. But I keep this kind of like in my door, along with a flashlight and some other things. But anyways, you know, guys, I'm really happy that this car got started. I mean, it did take a while for it to start. I mean, look at all these things that we done in this time. Some stuff done off camera. I am lucky that it got started. Now, I'm somebody that's mechanically inclined, and I'm used to buying cars with problems. So I bought this car with a mechanical issue. Now I expected a lot worse than a bad starter, or another problem that I had was my oil cooler light. Oil cooler line was leaking when I bought this car, guys, and it also had a dead battery. The battery that they had was the incorrect one, so you do have to put AGM 850 battery, and you have to program it. So I have not programmed the battery yet. I was under the assumption when I would buy Carly, you could program that in. I went through all the program features. I programmed a bunch of stuff, which I will go over like in a later video. Pretty happy with it, but I did not find a place to program the battery. That being said, guys, I will be replacing the starter on here. And one thing to note, I've really done nothing to the starter. I tried tapping it very lightly with my with these right here. I don't know what that done. If anything, probably nothing. I think if anything, this just started up because of time. Some time has passed, and I don't know, it decided to crank back up. So this is kind of like one of those intermittent issues that's annoying, and you hope that's not a starter, but it might be a starter. It could be literally anything. I mean, I looked over there and the starter looks fresh. I mean, I don't know how fresh it is, but that's what it looks like to me. But anyways, that being said, if this happens to you in a parking lot, I mean, if you just wait just a little bit, you might just be able to wait it out, and then it's going to go home, you know. Maybe when it's going to cool down, maybe it's going to start, like, I don't know. But it's been sometimes starting several times in a row, and then all of a sudden it doesn't start, which is annoying. But luckily the starter does not appear to be very hard to replace, and the only expense you're gonna really have is just buying the starter. That's it. But anyways, guys, I don't want to really ramble here. I'm actually gonna go about my business. I really have to take care of some stuff and go home, and I gotta order the starter. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I do have Mercedes Sprinter channel as well, where I help out people with various Mercedes Sprinter problems. I bought this BMW because I really like BMWs and I want to keep it. And apparently BMWs, they like to have troubles. So any kind of trouble that I'm going to have, I'm going to record a video about it, share the tips with you guys, and share my findings. So see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.